Nin Alysha Allaire, Ipayadwapshke Mainga Indigenous cause, Nipsing Donjba, Shigen Dodem, Ekinomag Gekwe Anishnaabemwin. Hi, I'm Alysha Allaire. My spirit name is Wandering White Wolf. I'm from Nipsing First Nation in the Crane Clan, and I teach Ojibway Anishnaabemwin for Near North District School Board at Woodland Public School. I've been teaching now, I'm on my 5th year, and it's been an amazing journey, and I absolutely love my job of bringing this language of this territory into the greater system. And I teach Indigenous students and I teach non-Indigenous students, and it's just such a gift to be able to teach my language in the public system when just 2 generations ago my grandmother was attending a residential school where she wasn't allowed to speak that very same language. So growing up, my grandmother was always a strong advocate for education. She made sure that the school boards had an Indigenous trustee. She was a big advocate for bringing culture into the school, and she did a lot in the greater community. And then my mother actually got a job teaching culture for the Catholic board in the area, and then went on to become a principal. And watching my mother become as strong of an advocate as my grandmother, to see roles like mine, right? To teach Anishnaabemwin in a public system when even not that long ago, right? 1996, the last residential school closed. It's come full circle for me to have 3 generations of very strong advocates for Indigenous education. I feel like I'm part of the reclamation of culture for those students who their parents might have been like my mother, where they never got to have that culture until now, and it's steps to reclaiming it. It's funny because I can picture in my head this picture that I have of me in my very first jingle dress. Like I said, my grandmother was a residential school survivor, and there was a missing generation where my mom didn't get to grow up around powwows and her culture, and then once my mom was kind of an adult, that's when you started to see that coming back. And so although my mom didn't get to experience that, when I was born, that's when it was starting to see our culture and our community again. And so I remember my grandmother and my mom working on this little orange jingle dress for me. And I remember my first powwow at Nipsing First Nation, and going to Wikwimikwong First Nation as well with that dress, and just being in complete awe of being at a powwow and feeling the way that drum and that dewe gun and the way it makes you feel. Not only reclaiming Anishnaabemwin has healed me and has brought me closer to my culture, but dancing that jingle dress is another way that I heal myself, and another way it brings me so much closer to my ancestors. And every time I dance, I think of that picture of me that my grandmother, that was part of her reclaiming of her culture, right? Was helping her grandchildren reintroduce them to something that had been, idle for some time, right? Reclaiming my language as an adult and being close to my culture and dancing powwow and going to ceremony, it has done so much for me that I feel like it's given me such direction in life. I literally can't picture myself doing anything but what I'm doing, teaching Anishnaabemwin, teaching culture in school. It's a dream job. That being close to my culture and to my language, I want that for others. I want that for our youth. And I feel like a lot of youth need that. And so when I'm teaching, I really try to bring that into the way I teach and the way I am. And that's how I want to carry on for our ancestors. So when I am in a class and I have community members in my class and their children, I want to empower them the way that Anishnaabemwin and dancing and ceremony has given me such a good focus in my life.